I think you have loaded. I'm going to assume so. Means I'm going to change things around here. My end. Yes. Don't worry. As usual, it's only going to take, half a decade or something. No. Bad thingy. You load. Great. Now you have loaded this. Well, that's beginning. Need to set up the rest. Like you. And well, so far so good. So far so good indeed. I'm gonna let you finish now. I can actually go over here. Where were you? Is it just me again? Am I not seeing it? Yeah, I'm just not seeing it. That is so bloody typical. Now then, we're going to go here. Finally we can play. What a nice little reminder that we have indeed bloody freaking Sunday. No, Saturday. Dear Nier, today was awesome. People made me this huge cake. It was really yummy. And everybody has been wishing me happy birthday. It's fun. I feel like a princess or something. That's a very small way to look at it, but okay. I don't feel sick at all today. In fact, I almost forgot I had this disease. Very forgot what to do and come back home now. You really make my job hard. Yeah, on a very emotional level. No, let's not start farming. Pizza is something I can do off screen because, boy. Must take quite a while. Yeah. I know, Yona. As far as I'm aware, I went around and, last time at least, and checked if there were any more quests. I guess we can very much safely go to the forest. Which I saved because I think I actually mentioned that. I kinda remember at least one visit in the forest being rather heavy on the reading side, and I would like to do that in one nice little sitting. He came back. He came back home to see me. Yay! I'm awesome. Yeah, I'm just gonna claim that. I'm just that good. Kinda, we have stuff to do. Actually, this is gonna be our first visit there, isn't it? Yeah, it is actually. First visit to the forest of Myth. Can't really help myself, Why they just look at me like, come on, you wanna do it too? Yeah, the answer is yeah, I want. I want to bother them quite a bit. Kinda reminds me that I actually at some point need to start farm materials for my weapon upgrades. Yeah. At some point. the future, something predicted the future. Guess where I'll do it. Yeah. Ever more in the video shadows. It's a nice move, actually. And I'm going to ignore you because I already murdered one of your kind. That is more than enough. And everybody's dead. Ah, that's precisely what we want. Very nice, easy situation for us. I think I visited this place precisely one time before. For no good reason, mind you. I just did it because I can. Also mostly because there's quite literally nothing here, you know. You're basically here for no good reason. If you come before this quest. I mean, apart from the music maybe, yeah? It's actually, you know, it could actually give you potentially a reason for being here. You know, different taste. Oh, totally acceptable. As I'm aware. And concerned at that. Beware! Yeah, beware the words. Yeah, that's the sort of question I would have to. Contagious words. Those who dream. Everybody. Yes. There's a strange new sensation in my mind. Vice voice rose in a quizzical way. It is not quizzical. Ah. That's a very good question. The villager's body shuddered as he slowly opened his eyes. The mayor stared near and wise. Well, yeah, apparently. Major explained. In the past weeks, a mysterious disease called the Death Dream had spread across the forest of myth. Those who caught it were cursed to fall asleep and live forever within the world of their own dreams. The village mayor had determined the Death Dream was spread from person to person by spoken words. But before I could learn more, disease took him as well. I stared at the mayor, his mouth twitching slightly. As he said, they're saying that we have been absorbed into your dream. Well, yes, said the mayor. I think you have. Indeed, you are indeed caught in the death dream, my friend. Before the mayor could confirm Nier's suspicion, Weiss exploded with rage. Ridiculous, preposterous, completely unfathomable on every conceivable level. Do you recall falling asleep? Well, yeah, apparently it is that sort of sickness. Though polite, the mayor was clearly trying to brush aside the book's remark. My remarks are not to be brushed aside for. I do love this. It's an interesting part. The mayor twisted his mouth into an embarrassed grimace, then quickly changed the subject to who Nier had seen and what they had discussed since coming to the village. Something there must have concentrated in my dream said to me. A certain conversation, a specific word, something. Nier advice wrecked their brains, but could find no easy solutions. There were simply too many words to consider. Too much random chatter. Too many meaningless conversations. Remember, voice does not engage in meaningless conversations. We're suggesting that Wise chooses words carelessly seemed to sting his pride. Quite a bit. It does not seem to sting my pride, bloated gasbag of a narrator. It has dodged it utterly. Irritated, Wise looked skyward, searching for answers in the heavens. I was trying to search. Just leave me alone already! You're a bloody narrator! The anger created by his harsh words bled over to Nier like a contagion. Wait, said Nier suddenly. Someone just say contagion. Yes, I believe so. What of it? Well, the village told us to watch out for contagious words, right? Well, he forward with renewed interest, pushing a startled Wise aside in the process. He must have said something right, asked the mayor. Some specific combination of words? What was it? It was about dreaming or something that dreams are... Oh, what the hell was it? A sheep. I was suddenly. That was the first thing that popped into his head. Yes, I stared at him for a moment before slowly shaking their heads. After minutes of thought, his face suddenly lit up. I remember he said, "Those who dream." That's what he said, I'm sure of it. This the mayor produced a thick sheaf of papers from his pocket. He flipped through them a few times before finally falling his approval at Nier. That sounds right, he said. Stray sheet of paper fluttered to the ground. My notes also mentioned something about that. But it was the last thing you heard before you fell asleep. The mayor shook his head. Small pencil stopped tracing lines across a lone piece of paper. For the last month, I've done nothing but study the disease we call the death dream, he said. I mean, I'm the mayor, right? It's my job to protect people from whatever comes along. But I never expected a couple of outsiders to start entering people's dreams. The mayor paused, a grimace crossing his face. Should probably be taking notes or something. Shut, you idiot. Wise immediately fired back. I plotted a force of will it takes to research the disease in your dreams, he said. But perhaps we should bend our efforts to escaping this place instead of trying to understand it. It was a wise thing to do. Mayor's hands tightened around his pencil, snapping off the tip. Well, great. I've tried to escape. From the very first moment I realized I was locked inside my own dream, I've been looking for a way out. I don't think it exists. I mean, this is my dream, right? If there was an exit, I'd know about it. He paused for a moment, his unfocused eyes staring at nothing. My village was beautiful, but to no one in particular. It was filled with the most wonderful people you could ever hope to meet. Once this disease took hold, things changed. It's like someone took a sponge and soaked all the color out of our lives. I just want us to be whole again. I want us to be free. And I won't stop trying until it happens. Yeah, nodded in agreement. Wait a second, I did not. Well, no, according to the narrator, you did. Yep. And before he said, yeah, just ask. Oh, hold on, I did not say it. The narrator is trying to force the story. Oh god! Silence! Cried Wise. Tura looked from Nier to the mayor and back again, his face filling with confidence. Tura's Wise is always confident. Thank you very much. See, Mayor. That is that nothing can exist in a dream without your knowing of it. But yet you seemed surprised to see us when we first arrived, yes? He slowly raised his head, realizing dawning on his face. Oh my god, he said. Alright, you are right indeed. I know that you were coming. Human immigration is a limited engine, said Wise. Dreams are the fuel. If you can imagine an exit, then it must be so. Your permission, we shall search it out. Thank you, said the mayor. I don't know how I can repay you. Payment is not required. We're as eager as you to be done with this place. Good point, actually. We suddenly felt as if we could breathe again. I'd almost forgotten what it was like. Good luck, you two. Call to the departing forms of Nier advice. We're all counting on you. Nier slowly faded into the misty forest. The mayor was struck by a sense of déjà vu. I saw this man once before, he thought. But where? Nier's mood darkened as he trudged through the forest. Hours earlier, when the beauty of the place was still a new thing, he'd been confident they could get in, find the exit, and be home in time for dinner. The deeper they went, the more the forest closed in around him. The mist made it difficult to see more than a foot in any direction, and moss-covered rocks seemed determined to twist his ankle. More than once, he'd been forced to steady himself on the rough bark of a tree, and his hands now left small trails of blood on everything he touched. Additionally, Wise was proving to be a spectacularly poor traveling companion. Unhindered by either train or physical effort, he spent most of his time urging Nier to pick up the pace and grumbling about their slow progress. Finally, after Wise muttered something about legless turtles being more adept at navigating the environment, Nier snapped. Okay, Wise, ground for a second, would you? You don't have to walk. Nier leaned against the tree and tried to stretch the knots from his back. How can this stupid first be so big? He said to himself. The moment the words stumbled from his mouth, a cacophony of insects sprang to life. Every imaginable form of buzz, click, and hiss roared out at a volume that rattled his teeth. Nier slapped his hands over his ears and screamed to be heard. Wise, what's going on? He could see Wise's mouth moving, but he might as well have been shouting in a tornado. The insects screamed. The forest howled. Then, just as Nier seemed ready to tear from his head and go running for cover, the sound diminished. Hesitantly, he moved a hand from his left ear and listened to the creatures of the woods. I will not do this again. This is bloody annoying. Bloody hell. God. Imagine insect sounds, apparently. In which case, I probably made a very bad him. Let's not talk about that. Let's continue on. As the insect symphony dimmed another decibel, he began to dig patterns in the sound. This isn't random, he thought. It's not just white noise. It's something else. The insects weren't just calling out. They were asking a question. One visit is lacking. 2 visit is ideal. 3 of it is dangerous. What is it? Boy, my pages, is this a riddle? My, I would say it is. Yes, so I mean, it feels sort of forced, but maybe it's the key to getting out of this place. Then I leave it to you to answer. 1 visit is lacking, 2 visit is ideal, 3 visit is dangerous. What is it? I mean, game. Technically speaking, my first reaction if I were in that situation would be to shout very loudly, how the hell am I supposed to know? But you know, why don't we go for a seesaw? Sounds interesting. I think that's ideal with 2 people, but dangerous with 3. Oh, that's a seesaw. As we flew open before I could say anything, the world suddenly shifted. Rain, rain, wow, rain, rain, wow. Cheek, cheeky, cheek, cheeky. It sounds horrible. When he came to, he was once again surrounded by the sounds of insects. The cries of the insects were creating words he had heard somewhere before. 1 bit is lacking, 2 bit is ideal, 3 bit is dangerous. What is it? 5 more pages, is this riddle? I guess so. And I have to you to give the answer. And how should I know? Games like, I'm not going to let you go, you fool. See? Inwardly furious that Wise left asked him, he sighed and gave the only answer that made sense. That's a secret. Right? The sound of the insects stopped as suddenly as it began. The first undergrowth started before Nier like a rippling wave, opening a new path. These forest anthropods are making a road for us, said Weiss with glee. Pleased at passing the test, Nier moved on with new intensity. Weiss offered his body relief from the undergrowth, but gave even greater cheer to his mind. As long as they were on a path, their journey had a purpose. I guess the forest has accepted us, huh? Said Nier after a bit. I spun around to face his companion. Do not mistake the will of this forest for some happy pet you can suddenly befriend. I have no idea where this path leads. As Weiss finished speaking, the pair turned a corner and found themselves facing a clear forest spring. Smiling, Nier picked up a small rock and sent it skipping across the surface of the water. Good heavens, said Weiss. His surprise was understandable. Each time the rock struck the surface of the water, a musical note rang out. When the rock finally stopped moving and sank to the bottom of the spring, the ripples it left behind came together to form words. Enter through the window, but break no glass. Night falls, I vanish. What am I? Absurdly easy, barked Weiss. No answer. Nigel ceased and tried not to reach out and strangle his companion. Right after all, this one is pretty easy. Enter through the window, but break no glass. When night falls, I vanish. What am I? A bird would break your glass. A letter would indeed also. Well, not necessarily break your glass, but you know. Can't really enter without that. Sunlight, however, can very well do that. It is indeed a rather easy and simple riddle. I will just assume. Bird! I submitted a low groan and fell to the ground with some. Surely even your foolishness is not so profound. Yes, right, said Nier. That doesn't make sense, does it? Game. The answer should then be sunlight. The only thing that can actually enter without breaking your glass. A plume of water suddenly burst from the spring. Sunlight filtered through the trees and reflected off the plume, creating a shimmering rainbow that spanned the entire horizon. In all my years, said I softly, I've never seen such a sight. Perhaps I've misunderstood the intentions of this place. Hey look, cried Nier, awakening a voice from his gaze. There's a house or something over there. Glancing in the direction of his friend's extended hand, Weiss saw a small cottage nestled among the trees. That's weird, isn't it, Weiss? I mean, who would build a house all the way out here? Nier walked over and pounded on the door. After a minute of solid banging, the door cracked open and a small man peered out. His body was cloaked from neck to toe in a large black cape, while his face was obscured by mist. Began Nier. Before I could get any further, the cloaked man held a hand up and began speaking. I have 4 legs in the morning, 2 at noon, and night with 3. What am I? A classic, that's what you are. I tried to ask the cloaked man who he was or what he was doing here, but he simply repeated the question. I wish to engage this man in conversation, said Weiss. It seems we must answer his riddle. Yeah, I suppose, said Nier. At least it's an easy one. Technically speaking, all of the answers are right, if we go by the idea that angels, that demons, do look somewhat like humans. Let's go with an angel. An angel! As I also spoke when he found himself covered in a snow of perfect white feathers. A warm, gentle feeling ran up his spine as a creature of unimaginable beauty shimmered into existence. He found himself unable to hold back tears as the being's voice rang out. You are incorrect. Please make another choice. Ah. A demon. As soon as words were spoken, the forest began to swirl around them. Leaves browned and fell from trees, branches withered and died. The tall green grass shriveled into dark curls of ash. Suddenly, a massive demon appeared before me and unleashed a tremendous roar. Wrong! Now try again! A man. Missed the sound from the cloaked figure as he spoke a single word. Correct. With that, the man flung his garment aside, revealing his true identity. "You're the mayor," cried Nier. The small man slowly shook his head. "I'm not the mayor you know. Now listen to my words. Long ago I saw a version of you that was not yourself." Sorry, what's that mean? Don't make sense in time. Present, I simply congratulate you on cracking the seal of the Death Dream. Now I must go to the person at the forest entrance. With that, the man turned on his heel and slammed the door behind him. As Nier watched, mist seeped up from the ground and enveloped the cottage, raising it from existence. When he and White returned to the first entrance, they found the male leaning against a tree. As soon as he got sight of the door, he sprang to his feet and scrambled over to them. "Good, Grabby," he cried. "You made it. You actually made it back." Left hand grasped Nier's and pumped it so fiercely it threatened to dislodge from the socket. On his right seized Voice by the collar and swung him through the air. "Gah, by the heavens, stop shaking me, fool. We have not even told you if you are successful or not." The mayor smiled broadly and shook his head. "I'm just happy you're alive. I didn't think I'd ever see you again." He withdrew himself from the mayor's eager handshake with a slight smile. "We broke the Death Dream seal," he said. "At least I think we did." The mayor's face beamed as Nier filled him in on the details. The tale was done, the three of them laid down on the first round and fell asleep. Nier cocked his head. "Okay, hang on a second, this is crazy. Why would we just lay down and go to sleep?" "It's easier to spread and go to sleep, fool. Fighting against the rules of this place is futility itself." And the mayor weakly reclined atop the grassy earth. "Have you forgotten?" continued Rice. "There's words that control the Death Dream. Words that allow us to move from place to place. No matter how unnatural they seem, words are absolute. Therefore, if the words tell us to sleep, then sleep we shall. And once we do, the story will continue." With that, the three found their eyes growing heavy, their breath slowing. "This is the first time," began the mayor, "the first time I felt tired since I was imprisoned here." His words were cut off by a loud, long yawn, and he remembered nothing more. Might have slept for an hour or a year. When they awoke, things had slightly more real quality to them. The mist felt thicker, nearly greener. It was clear that they had awakened from their dream. Nier shook the mayor's shoulders gently. "Good news," he said. "I think we made it." "Wow," said the mayor in an odd voice. "We did. I'm back." He blinked once, and then again, still not quite believing the sight before him. "You have no idea how much this means. The Death Dream was spreading through our village, and I wanted to, thought I could figure out how to stop it. I guess that wasn't the case. I must have caught the disease and become trapped in my own dream." Mayor started to stand and collapsed back to the earth, set his legs as if trying to remember how they worked, then glanced at Nier and shrugged. Without a word, the young man reached down and pulled the mayor to his feet. "Real life may take some getting used to," said the mayor as a wry smile crossed his lips. "You should really in short order, I'm sure," said Weiss. "For now, you should return to your home and rest," said the mayor, swaying on unsteady feet. "No, I can't. Some of the villagers are still trapped in the Death Dream. I have to save them." The mayor slowly made his way to the divine tree in the center of the village, and bowed his head and prayed silently. "This is a holy tree," he explained when the prayer was finished. "It's the guardian of our village history and memories. Superstition will only make our mission harder," muttered Weiss. "We should not put our faith in the gods." Mayor shook his head. "Not the gods, the words. Legend says that our tree is home to a powerful magic known as a sealed words." The voice could not contain their surprise. It seemed the gold had been found in the most unexpected of places. "I say," muttered Weiss, "this is certainly a stroke of luck." As the three of them said their goodbyes, Nier mentioned the strange man who had given them the third riddle, the mysterious words he had left them with. "I once saw a version of you that was not yourself," muttered the mayor. "What in the world does that mean?" He lost in thought, stared into space for a long moment. "You know," he said softly, "going to sound odd, but a feeling I'd seen you before too." Nier tried to keep a straight face and failed, but the mayor didn't seem to notice. "Déjà vu, right? Anyway, I feel it's just some kind of illusion created by the Death Dream. It probably doesn't mean anything." Nier gave the mayor a nod and a smile, but inwardly his thoughts were racing. There's something wrong about the mayor and his words. And what exactly is going on here? That riddle would prove to be the most difficult one of all.
ありがとうございます。これでやっと普通の暮らしに戻れます。しかし、君はな病気であるな。
That is indeed one of the most bizarre things I have heard of.
できれば他の村民も助けてやりたいんですが。
Play the sealed doors. Play the dark execution magic.
これでやっと。しかし、
結構簡単に封印されし言葉が手に入ったね。
Well, on your part it didn't take much work. On my part, that was a lot of reading to do.
ちょっと簡単すぎやしないか。
Mm-hmm.
なんだかこの村にも誘導されてきたような。
考えすぎだよ、シロ。
Shiro. Shiro. But also owl does just mean white. Oh, whites in German.
この人も夢を見、
おそらくはそう。
あの文字だらけの世界か。
不満を垂れている暇があれば。
はーい。
Oh, bloody hell. Yeah. I'm going to make myself a bit more comfortable because this is going to take a bit of, you know, concentration. I breathe air, skin tinted with death and resist the urge to laugh. I know it will sound like the words of a madman. How long have I been in this fresh hell? Excuse me. My box, my prison, is tucked beneath a stairway along unused catacombs of some infinite castle. Outside, I hear the sounds of a funeral dirge that plays without end. Light has no place here, wind is a forgotten friend. I pray for death to come, but he forsakes me. Time passes, and eternity slips by in a single tick of the clock. Someone knocks on my prison. Anyone there? I hear an unfamiliar voice say, "My savior!" I blow out the door of my jail, letting thick splinters under my ragged nails. I scream for help, I laugh, I sob. Surely this is a product of my adult mind. Surely it cannot be true. Help me, I cry, for the love of all the gods, help me! Impossibly, I hear the sound of a lock being torn out and falling to the floor. As the door slowly creaks open, I have just enough time to see a silver-haired boy and a floating book. It's inside. My eyes, accustomed to blackness, explode with pain and I am forced to turn away. Who are you? I ask, shaking hands, covering my face. How have you come to this place? I am Grimoire. This is Nier. How long have we been searching for you? Now come, stand. We shall awaken from this nightmare together. One notice Nier extends his hand and pulls me from the cell. Oh, my eyes are slow to adjust to freedom, my ears are keen as ever. They recognize the staccato sounds of heavy rain. Never thought to hear that again, I whisper. But that this were not such a terrible storm, said Grimoire. Look at your feet. Was my open sea water pooling around my ankles and lapping at my shins. There's so much of it. Yes, and more comes each moment we delay. If you do not make good our escape, we shall all drown in this castle. You know you're weak. You know you only hope to survive this place. Time, that long-forgotten friend, made itself known again. I nodded my head and swore to save my rescuers no matter the cost. Castle catacombs are a maze, twisting upon themselves like the endless entrails of a giant. I squint down the dim corridors and proceed north. At the end of the corridor, I find a row of 20 gorgeous canopied beds, resting atop a carpet of velvet, all are covered in a thick layer of dust and cobwebs. Searching for the door to the next room, I come upon a shapeless mass of grey matter. It's been shoved against the side of the wall, and despite my fever, I think I see the outlines of a door just beyond. I reach out a finger and touch a piece of the mass that turns to dust and drifts away on the wind. Realization slowly dawns, and I fall to my knees and weep. Corpses. It's a mountain of charred and crumbling corpses. I up from it to the beds and back again until the horror dawns full upon me. Someone has piled these bodies into a tower and set them ablaze. whether they were alive or dead. I do not know. Insanity will not permit me to consider the proposition further. Make a sound. Whether scream or laughter, I cannot be certain. My mind grants me merciful blackness, and I find myself opening the door and leaving that most terrible of rooms. I sprint down the dim corridor. And proceed east. And proceed north. And proceed north. The end of the path. The waters rise to my waist, exhausting me both physically and spiritually. I pray that this is the way out. Eventually, I can stand the sight of the waters no longer, so I turn my eyes upward. Imagine my surprise when I see a series of paintings hanging on the faded plaster wall, which depict the person of the in the prime of life at a clothing of the highest quality. These styles, however, are strange to me, leading me to believe that these people had lived long, long ago. One subject was an outfit that particularly catches my eye. It's constructed of a thin, breezy cloth and decorated with a motif of flowers and birds, while encircling the figure's waist is a leather belt of the most perfect construction. It is a stunning costume, even by modern standards. As I gaze at the portrait, I am struck by a desire to touch it with my own hands. Yet, as I extend a single finger to the painting, I am gripped by a most unpleasant feeling. Staring closely at the image, I see it bend and warp into a shape of another figure. Something behind the picture is pointing at me. Is it another prisoner? A fellow inmate, trapped for eternity in this place. I cannot let it pass, and so I seize the browser with both hands and throw it into the water. The wall is hollow behind the painting, and inside I can just make out a body. Whether or not this is a prisoner, there would be no rescue. The poor soul is long dead. Strips of clothing lie on the floor around the bones. Only a small amount of the fabric has survived. It just features the same delicate designs that were depicted in the portrait. I've been around a row of corpses, blocked from view by portraits of each victim at their pinnacle. Enough. Shielding my eyes, I pedal forward through the water. I squint down the dim corridors and proceed south. And proceed east. I find myself in a great hall with only the sounds of rain for comfort. The waterlogged red carpet squishes beneath my feet as I approach the center of the room. Once there, I behold a beautiful dining table, on which rests china and silver of the finest construction, as well as the remains of a fantastic feast. My eyes continue to adjust. I see many chairs surrounding the table, each holding a dinner guest. Noticing movement, I approach a chair at the table's head, but as the truth of the matter dawns on me, I recoil in horror. The host of the feast is the corpse. As well as all the invited guests, an army of foul, gritty insects have made homes in their remains, and this is the movement I saw. This one splendid feast was nothing more than a requiem for the damned. I take a moment to steady my shaking hands and slowly back away from the table. Desperate to lose sight of the abomination before me, my gaze lands on the chairs upon which the dead were seated. This is a mistake. The chairs proved to be even more terrible than the feast itself. Each one is covered in a layer of spikes that run from the seat up the back and down the arms. This explains the color of the carpet beneath my feet. I can only pray that the unfortunate diners were dead when the meal began. For if not, it is a simple task to envision the agonized screams that might have sprung forth from their mouths. My mind grasps frantically at the possibility that these souls had committed some terrible crime for which this was punishment. Though, in truth, I suspect they had committed no crime at all. There would be no tomorrow for those unfortunates. This was their last supper. I squint down the corridors and proceed west. West. At the end of the path, a row of heavy wooden casks lie on the sides in a dark chamber. Doubtless, filled with wine. My thirst rose to life. I cannot remember the last time a parched throat had relief. I scramble to the first cask, pull frantically at the cork. The theft of a few cups means nothing, I tell myself. These casks will be ruined by the flood regardless. Finally, the cork surrenders to my attack. A thick red liquor bursts forth from the hole. This is no wine, it is blood still warm from the body. Whether animal or something else, I cannot say. The whole liquid soon mixes with the rising flute waters, creating a warmth that laps against my thighs. May all the gods, the rest of these casks filled with blood as well. I lack the courage to confirm my suspicion. Disgust quickly becomes fear as I turn to flee. My wicked legs betray me, sending me toppling over into the red ocean below. The smell of death is everywhere. It threatens to consume me. I must escape this hell. Crawling on all fours like an animal, holding back screams as the founders enter my mouth, I nudge forward through the red waters and out of the room to freedom. Water has risen to my chin and now laps greedily at my mouth and nose. You dumb bust, shouts Nier. He surely desires to say more, but the rest of his insult is cut short by the rising water. Rumor-wise, wet and tattered, floats on the water surface, but it's already too late for him. This wasn't how it was supposed to end. Diddle-dim. Can actually die. I do wonder how much progress we have lost though.
これでやしかし君
Yeah, only 2 here, eh? That's not that bad. Hmm.
この人も夢を見てるのか。
おそらくはそうで
あの
不満を
はーい。
Well then, let's make this a bit on the, you know, faster pass. Nos. 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 I have absolutely forgotten how the hell to actually get out of there. Oh shit. Yeah, let me actually it's a bit faster for everybody. Da-da-da-da. Ah.
この人も夢を
おそ
あの文字だ。は
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, that's to the west. Okay, okay. Let's try this again then. Ah. We're drinking for as long as I have coffee. I don't care if this takes a while. I'm such a simple creature when it comes to some things like this.
この人も
おそ
あの文字だは
Hmm. Yeah, it takes a while until I get the pattern I know myself. Against all hope, we make it to the front door. Break it down, someone cries, so I give myself to the effort. Turn with Nier and grimmer wise, I slam my body against the thick, sturdy door. Our try gives way. Find ourselves sprawled on the ground outside the castle. The storm is in retreat. The clouds above are still dark and foreboding. To the west I can see a thin shimmer of sunlight trying to break through. How can I thank you? Cries tears joy and rain on my cheeks. I would surely have died in there. Looking down, then I notice that my dress is in tatters. I sheepishly try to cover my exposed skin. The dress asks wise. Then you are a woman, madame. I am. I proffered to a smile. I suppose it comes as something of a surprise, seeing as how I only exist in the form of words. I see that the one down is near. She's disappointed that the torn dress will be given no further description, but he hides it well, with a nod and a shrug, as we have set forth to our awakening. Behind us, an awakening of another kind is taking place. Black smoke fills the abandoned castle, providing the countless damned souls inside with the final shroud. After a moment, the castle's windows shatter with a mighty roar. Fresh breeze blows through the hallways and corridors, clearing the smoke away for good. We watch in awe. Uncountable black shadows slowly flicker to life, crossing to and fro in front of the broken windows. Castles dead have awakened to their new life, as shades.
何か言うことある？
次は
まったくだね。
What a pain in the ass indeed, wasn't it?
助けてくれてありがとう。もうあんな夢見た。
I mean, you know, it's your dream, so if you're going to see something like this again or not is really kinda dependent on yourself. I mean, like pretty much everybody had at some point at least, you know, suffered a nightmare or two. Can't really say I ever had anything that was truly that horrible. I mean, you know, but on the usual side. Getting chased around. You're murdered. You're falling down. But nothing too scary, you know.
こやつも同じか手のかかること
Oh boy, yeah. This is really tiring
白は
work.
本なのに文字が苦手なの？
何事にも例外はある
Yeah, when even the book is like, I don't like deep words. A colony of massive sculptures was visible in the distance, with all forms scraping against the sky. Boys in here had never seen such a sight, and their eyes widened as they tried to take it in.
まだ遠いのかな。建物が大きすぎて距離がつかめないよ。
And these buildings must really be huge.
どれだけ大きいんだろう。
あるいはただの幻か
As Wise considered his answer, the sun beat down on them with renewed ferocity. Perhaps there's some manner of mirage, he said. Under this heat, a mirage or two would hardly be an unexpected sight. Nier nodded and wiped the sweat of his brow, leaving a trail of sand in its place. His heart he'd never been so thirsty. The ancient road on which they walked was black and cracked with age. Here and there, thin wisps of grass pushed up through the rocky surface, as if defying those who had laid this material down over their home. The heat reflecting from the road made Nier lightheaded. His feet hurting, he crouched down to rest. I don't know how much longer I can do this. Is someone playing a joke on us or what? The complaining had already begun. I tried not to let his eyes roll too much. A joke, he said. No, no joke. This road leads to a city of art. Perhaps the path itself is simply some manner of grand artistic work. You don't sound very sure of yourself there. Perhaps not. But thinking of it in this way might make it easier for you to bear. He glanced at my grinning face, shook his head, and resumed walking. As time passed, Nier's feet grew more painful, and his throat drier than he thought possible. He tried not to look further than the next step ahead, because the bright sunlight made him hesitant to trust his own senses. "We are definitely getting closer," said Weiss in an effort to cheer his companion. "Yes, this much is certain." Encouraged, Nier lifted his gaze. Suddenly, he stopped walking, choosing instead to stand in the middle of the road with his mouth and eyes wide open and his finger pointing in the distance. "Water!" he cried. "It's water!" "Water," asked Weiss. "Preposterous! I don't see any water." "Over there, just ahead of us. Look, the sun is reflecting off it." Without waiting for a response, Nier sprang to life and bounded toward the side. What in the... There was no water. There was nothing but sand in every direction. He closed his eyes and sighted as Weiss floated up behind him and chuckled softly. "I believe this is known as a mirage," he said. "Many a desert traveler has spoken of such things." Nier shook his head, bewildered. Suddenly he pointed off in the distance, his eyes wide once more. "Wait, there it is. I just missed it. Look, it's right there." He sprinted off again, leaving Weiss with no choice but to follow. A few minutes of running, Nier came to a halt. I could have sworn it was right around here. Confused, he put his hands up to his eyes and rubbed them vigorously. As soon as he stopped, he noticed a blue shimmering pool of clear water just over the next rise. With a shout, he bounded off in search of it. The chase continued for nearly an hour, until an exploded Weiss finally floated up to Nier and struck him in the face with his cover. "Enough, you blithering idiot! Stop this at once! There is no water here!" His face clouded. "There isn't?" "There's not. Perhaps next time you will listen to me when I tell you as much." Weiss paused for a moment, then continued speaking in a slightly kinder tone. "However, I suppose this mad chase was not altogether wasted. It seems to have arrived in the city of art." Nier looked up. Stretched out before him was a row of impossibly tall sculptures. The journey was at an end. "They are huge," cried Nier, completely forgetting the heat and pain of the past few hours. "I've never seen anything so big." Each sculpture was formed from roughly the same shape, a tall rectangle that stretched up towards the sky. That is where the similarities ended. Most were covered with panes of glass that reflected light in 1,000 directions, while others seemed to be nothing but frames of steel. Some had tall spires on their tops, while others possessed triangular caps. "What kind of city is this?" said Nier. "Where are the people? Where are the houses?" "Perhaps the land is intended exclusively for artistic use." The debate continued as they made their way through the city. Miracles of artistry were everywhere. Great iron crates with wheels sat silent on steel rails. Beautifully carved works with lights of red, amber, and green dangled over every street. As they moved away from the massive sculptures, they found a great array of smaller ones. Some were covered in glass or brick. Many were composed of materials he had never before encountered. The sheer variety of colors and styles was staggering. Unable to find a theme or purpose to the abstract works around them, Nier and Weiss eventually fell silent. On the outskirts of the city, he discovered 3 sculptures in the shape of humans. He had a sigh for relief as he approached them. Finally, I was getting tired of modern art. The statues were indistinguishable except for a single word chiseled into their right arms. One read Alpha, one read Beta, and the final one read Gamma. As they moved, touching the statue, a bird flew from the top of one of the sculptures. Lighting on the statue's shoulder, it emitted a brief, beautiful song that took the form of words. "Only one form is real, the others are false. The real form will always speak the truth. False ones will always speak lies." With that, the bird departed, as if on cue. The three statues shuddered to life, acquiring color and form as they began to breathe. "Hey, look at it," said Nier. "They're alive." Triplets bowed low before Nier. He said Alpha, you have to get me out of this nightmare. I am real. Stop lying, said Beta. He turned to me and threw his hands in the air. Alpha's a fake, you know. I'm the real one. What a load of crap that you are. Beta is fake. Everyone knows I'm the only real one around here. Their respective place given, the three statues returned to their frozen state as silence once again engulfed the city. When you consider all of these statements, only one of them could be the real thing, said Wise. He furrowed his eyebrows and considered his answer. Only one form is real, the others are false. And the real form will always speak the truth. The false ones will always speak lies. Everyone's Alpha. And so the statues shone with an eerie light. The light grew stronger and stronger. Jenny and Wise were forced to turn away.
どうやら今度はもっとし
I kinda thought, you know, we could get a dialogue like in the first,
こやつも同じ
but we cannot. Apparently.
何
Nope. Apparently games like you don't get the fun anymore. I do wonder then what would happen if I actually say like, I have no clue. If I actually get something like, you know, I don't have a clue. You took a long look at the cities and tried to clear his mind. Let's go to the city, discover three sculptures in the shape of humans. Turn, push them finally. No, this just puts me back at the beginning. Oh, Nier's voice betrayed a notable lack of confidence. He was relieved to see Wise nodding at him. Alpha were telling the truth, began Wise, in the right tones of a lecturer. Beta and Gamma would be fakes. In that case, Gamma's claim that Beta is fake would be the truth, even though Gamma is a liar. Therefore, that theory crumbles. And let's presume that Gamma spoke the truth. That makes Alpha and Beta liars. In this situation, however, Beta is calling Alpha a liar. He was with two statues telling the truth. Finally, let us assume that Beta is telling the truth, so Alpha and Gamma's lies would make sense, therefore Beta must be real. As Wise finished his explanation, Alpha and Gamma crumbled soundlessly into dust, while Beta sprang to life once more. Congratulations, villager, said Wise in a cheerful voice. Time to awaken has arrived. Thank you for saving me, cried the villager. He dropped to his knees, bowed his head as low as it could go before an uncomfortable Nier pulled him to his feet. Why did you have a dream like this? Asked Wise. Have you been to the city before? The villager slowly looked around at the bizarre objects and sculptures that dotted the landscape, then shook his head. I don't think so. I mean, it's impossible, right? There's no way I could have ever been to a place like this. But at the same time, I feel like I've seen it before. Déjà vu, said Nier. Just like the mayor. A vague sense of unease that struck Nier during the major stream spread once more through his mind.
なんだか
あの景色
もう勘弁してよ。これでもう村人
村長の言っていたやれやれだ
Enough wordplay.
まあまあとりあえず
助けていただき、どこかで見たことがあるよ。
And it feels so, eh? That feel like you know this place. Yes. Maybe, just maybe you do. Maybe you don't.
ああ皆さんどうもありがとうございました
Yeah, no problem, man.
これは心ばかり
こんな高価そうなもの
A nice one-handed sword, eh?
もちろんです名のある品らしいのですが
ではありがたくいただきます。
本当にありがとうございましたこやつらと話すのは骨が折れる
Ah, hello again. No, I've been trying to figure out a way to thank you for saving me, and I think I've got it. Put up a statue of you, 10 feet high, made of pure gold. Oh, and I know you don't own a horse, but I think we'll put you on one anyway. Horses just make people look more heroic, you know. What's that? You don't want a statue? I thought you'd really enjoy it. Regardless, thanks to your tireless efforts, I will is at peace once more. And at peace. That's a little agricultural joke right there. Anyway, I've been thinking about other things besides bad jokes and statues. I've also decided that we need to start holding the village festival again. We used to have it every year, but the last mayor thought it was old-fashioned or something, and he killed it. Since I'm the mayor, I can't start it up again. That's not abusing my power, I think, is it? Said you want to hear about the festival? Well, the official name is Feast of the 3 Days. We call it that because everyone sits around a huge table and eats for 3 days straight. No sleeping allowed. Oh, we hold it on the various days of the year, so it's hard to tell what you're eating. Some of the dishes are delicious, but some are really rare and, well, there's some weird stuff in them. Let's leave it at that. Anyway, you'll be pretty surprised what you can eat when you haven't slept for a couple of days. I'll make sure that the room is prepared for you. You're the guest of on what, you can't come, or you have to wash your hair, or alright, well I guess that's understandable. But with the adventuring and all that, truthfully, I think this town needs more group bonding activities like that. And they'll help us to know each other, promote unity in times of crisis and so forth. Wise coughed loudly. How much longer must we bear the insufferable flapping of this fool's gums? Whispered to Nier. I'll let him talk. He just woke up. He probably has a lot he wants to say. Excited. This must be what people mean by bright and talkative. And at this time you don't even get a choice, eh? I'm a lot more patient than you. Oh, it's you. Can I talk to you for a moment? Yeah, over here. These are my neighbors. I was just telling them about the dream I had. Don't you escape me from? They don't believe me. Say I'm making the whole thing up. Who would have meant something like that? I remember the darkness. I remember the screams. Listen, you have to back me up here. I think I'm crazy. They need to understand. You know how you pulled me out of that cell and there was water everywhere. It was rising so quickly, but I was convinced you had rescued me only to let me drown, you know? I know about to drown. People talk about how it's peaceful, but I think they're lying. And tell about the bodies. The bodies, oh gods, there were so many of them. There was the room with the beds and the corpses, like pieces of charcoal. I'm thinking about the fire and how hot it must have been, but then I don't want to remember it anymore, so I think about the wine. And it wasn't wine, it was blood. It was still warm. And I can still smell it. I'll be eating a piece of pie or something and all I can smell is that warm blood mixing with the rising water. But to eat now. See a table, I think about the feast and the guests and how the carpet squished beneath my feet when I walked. I don't know. It's weird. Pictures are maybe the worst. I keep wondering if they knew they were going to die and how they could still knowing that each stroke of the brush is a step closer to death. I think about stuff like that a lot now. Actually, I have a hard time thinking about anything else. I don't sleep much. Sleep is hard. I see such terrible things when I close my eyes. Anyways, hoping you could tell my neighbors that I wanted to go, they left a while ago. Sitting here quietly. Doubtless they find your room a bit disturbing, said Weiss. Perhaps you could find something else to talk about with them, Such as the weather, or kittens. Yeah, kittens are good. Smiles of dead Nier, but the smile soon faded from her face. As the two of them slowly backed away, they could see tears beginning to fall from the corners of her eyes. And you're not gonna let me drag this one out, eh? Talk. Oh hey, it's you, the guy who saved me from that crazy city. It's great to talk to you again. You're my hero, you know that? Oh, come on, don't be shy. It's alright. The mayor even said we're going to build you a statue and everything. I've been traveling the world. Good for you. That is the key to happiness, you know? Out in the world, meeting your fellow humans face to face really changes the way you see things. I think change like that will be vital in the new world that's coming. How's that? Me? Oh, I've never traveled. I left this village, to tell you the truth. Still, I'd like to get out someday. I think the world is dying, seriously. Think about it. You've got the black scroll, the shades, the mysterious illnesses like the death dream. It's like something is trying to give us a warning. In fact, I'm sure it is a warning. We need to change our ways before it's too late. I'd like to help change the world, but I'm just a simple villager. Not like you guys. You're on the front lines of everything. Rushing with swords and magic spells and stuff like that. Hey, you know, maybe we can join forces and change the world together. I mean, with your experience and talent, my, well, whatever I have. Anyway, I think we could really make a difference. That's what needs a leader, someone who can unite people in common purpose. He'd probably have to be kind of tough though. I mean, this isn't a world that appreciates calm discussion, you know. They also need to be smart. They have the ability to look down the road and think about what's best for the future. I bet you'd be perfect. What do you say? I think I should do it? No, that's not. I mean, thanks and everything, but no thanks. I'm not a public limelight kind of guy. I also hang around the background and help from there, you know. Like advisor or puppet master, whatever they're called. Actually, I think I'd be pretty good at it. Anyways, left before the village could hand them a copy of his pamphlet, 10 Simple Ways to Save the World. As he walked, Weiss pondered openly about the man. I suppose he's what they call an armchair general.
つら
He is indeed. Let me take a look at that. I have lots of very, very strange weapons, don't I? The world's most loyal servant. Like the loyalty sword blade is straight and true. It's a katana, isn't it? I mean, I am kinda using one already, so you know. Actually, since we're already out and about, let us actually go to the junkyard.
村はどうだった？
言葉にできないくらい素晴らしかったよ。
Yeah.
そいつは良かったな。
ポポルさんのところに戻ろう。神話の森のことを報告に行かないと。
Truth be told, there really are no words to describe that in a sensible fashion. Vroom. Now, if I wanna go to the junkyard, boop. Which I do. I need to go up here. It's a relative small extra step, so it shouldn't take that long. Should at some point really make a nice little list and actually, you know, get all the stuff. I don't really want to overdo it, you know. It's also a matter of time, for the moment at least. Which kinda makes this a bit more difficult. Hmm.
何か武器の強化なら
Okay, I can upgrade you. Needed 30, inventory 40. Okay. Well, a few weapons. The very least upgraded. Ah, that actually makes it then reasonable to check if I actually Year 3. Plus 50% magic power. Plus 30% magic power. I mean, it's still a katana, you know? Why wouldn't I use that? Partly they all have not yet said any words. Ah, okay, I can actually see that. That's 2 attack power. That's 4% guard break. That's XP rate up, that's iron gem drop rate. Paralyze level 1, confuse level 1, poison level 1, poison paralyze. Well, I guess paralyze it is then. You actually have something better than magic power plus 2. Doesn't really look like it, does it? Oh, well, that's MP cost -6. Oh, hasn't really changed much, eh? The katana. Oh, then back we go. We visited a few streams. It was all nice and dandy. Come on, get me right here. Don't do it. Yeah, I kind of wanted to avoid crashing into the wall, but little boy is like, nope, nope, I wanna crash. Yeah, came back. Came back home to see me. Yay! Ah, yes. And mysterious little forest. Well, yeah, it is a very strange sickness, mind you.
はい。奇妙な症状でした。
もう二度と生きたいとは思えぬ村だったな。
Yeah, I believe that loving for words is not good enough
お
to
疲れ様。
go through that again.
最近遠出ばかりしているようだけど無理してない？
平気だ
Yeah.
よ。ヨナの体のことを考えたら立ち止まるわけにはいかないからね。
そうね。
何か僕に手伝えることはない？
実は交易用の水路を整備する計画があるの。
Yeah.
準備が整うのはずっと先になってしまうのだけれど、 ただその計画が今少し滞っていて心苦しいんだけれど。
もちろん遠慮せずに言って。
ありがとう。水路の整備をお願いしていた人が心配だから、海岸の町まで家の場所はいつも赤いカバンを身につけているから。
わかった。
That's
水
easy
路
enough.
の整備をお願いしていた人は
Man carrying a red bag. Responsible for canal repairs. You don't say, game. You don't say.
水路か。船であれば今のように走り回らずに済みそうだな。
白は浮いているだけじゃないか。
浮くのにも体力を使うのだぞ。
え、そうなんだ。
なんだその夢を壊されたような顔は。
I mean, you know, it is kind of hard to judge that. Oh, it's fascinating how my house is always full of stuff.
お兄ちゃん、苦いお薬も早く帰ってきて。
Don't worry, Yuna. I'll probably not run away too far. I mean, our world is limited. This is a good opportunity to look if there's any more side quest. I mean, generally speaking, you know, fast travel is not that useful. I'm not really saving that much time anyway, so I'm not too thrilled for the moment. Actually, one way around.
お庭を綺麗な葉
You people never really have any new good stuff. Saddening. Kinda saddening indeed.
いらっしゃい。
At least I don't see any new quests.
いらっしゃい
Yeah, you lie. You don't have anything new in your inventory. Just a lying woman.
いらっしゃい。
He says, and then in his inventory, where you look, there's nothing. Well, let's take a short trip over to Facade. See if they have anything new. If not, we go to Seafront. Ah, faith. But I need to see a weapon. I think the weapon that I had the most fun with, playing around with, mind you, was actually a spear. Now, if I could remember the freaking name off the top of my head, that would be awesome. I can't. Which is bloody fucking usual. To be fair, I really don't have it with names. And we'll probably recognize it when I get it dropped into my lap. Until then, you know, let us keep calm. Now I do remember that in the original I did at some point had every weapon at least upgrade a level or so. Then I actually had to give back, because I only had rented it from a friend, including the console, mind you. And he kinda wanted that back, you know, at some point. So I never really finished it. I will do this in this case. It's just, I really don't yet know how I'm going to do this in a reasonable way. And because mostly it's, all things considered, not really that entertaining. If you watch somebody farm stuff for hours on end. It's a bit boring, let's just say. The sort of thing you can do when you have something like a very long-running theme that you have prepared beforehand. That you want to talk about. Then, yeah, sure, probably. Not the worst choice. I'm not even going to. I'll collect those because I already know I need them. Actually, can I use Grimoire's Wise Unbelievable Knowledge? Yes, I can. I can't change my weapons around, which is a bit of a pain in the ass because that means I have to do it like this. Can I actually look that up? No, I cannot. Well, titanium alloy is what I need the most, apparently. Just to put it apparently. Iron ore, twisted rings. Yeah, it's Scorpio Claw. And of course iron ore, because, well, screw you, that's why, mostly. I need 20 iron ore to get the beast bane up more. That's fucking insane. That one at least needs silver, and elaborate machine and natural rubber. I think natural rubber I can actually buy, interestingly enough. The elaborate machine is something you'd probably find inside that thingy-bob. The rusted clump. I don't remember where I've found all the fucking materials. I mean, come on, it's quite a while ago. Even if I had a better memory for such details, even then I would find it highly doubtful if I could actually still remember. That much. You go. Come on, game. Let me jump. See, this is actually some of the more interesting facts. If your world is, well, just well in general, basically, well made, and you know, people like me, at the very least, don't really have a problem with traveling around all over the place again and again. Technically speaking, we even do that of our own free volition. With no problem whatsoever. Mm. Mm.
タチさん、
ごめん、お邪魔だった
岩田キサ
なかなか正直だ。
Honest answer.
シロ、僕たちは退散しよ
これから国家を立て直すという大事な時期に王が女に筒を抜かすなど
Oh yeah, let him woo his girl.
う。でもよかったよ。フィリアの嬉しそうな顔が見られて。
仮面に隠れて顔など見えない。
Of course not, she was wearing that
あ、
mask.
そうか。
岩田
I mean, it is an honest answer. I can't even argue with it. You're like, I will not turn you away, but I wouldn't mind you leaving. I mean, I get it, yeah. I get it. Let's not cockblock the poor little king. I'm sure he's trying hard. So many cute little details everywhere. Makes this game quite the entertainment. Well, at least for me, that is. Getting a bit too relaxed here, though. Not a bit of a problem. How late actually is it? It's getting late, huh? Well, I guess we could at least start the little adventure and see if not now could we. That wouldn't bite. I'm still quite hesitant to, you know, play too much, because if I actually get in the mood I can play this for probably 10 hours straight. I will regret that very much, because A, I'm losing quite a bit of potential entertainment in the future that I very much like to have then. And secondly, because that means I'm sitting around 10 hours without moving much. My back is going to feel horrible after that. Believe me. I experienced that recently. What that means. And oh boy. Painful. Boy. Didn't allow you to hide again. See, you murdered something. You're ashamed to just let that sit around. Wolf fangs. Well, wolf fangs are not really the one I'm looking out for. I'm more interested in actually finding a... wolf pelts, was it? Do I actually still need those? Leveling up, I mean, as technically I also have enough claws, yeah. But you know. Not a bad idea to have a few extra. Doesn't hurt. Moldavi, that's actually something I think I can actually just sell if memory serves. Just exists as a valuable, pretty much. Don't remember any quest that needed that. Off the top of my head, that is. Which quite literally doesn't mean all that much. I mean, I can be wrong. I have been wrong in the past, aren't you? Which is why I'm a bit more careful. Then there's the whole idea of money, you know? I get it, yeah, but I don't need money. I actually have money. Again, it's like, I don't care about poison. Screw you. Wish I could be as tough as Sky, no? Also, yes, quite skilled, I will admit. Everything else considered. I don't usually come up with the idea of, you know, how to skin every bloody freaking animal in a such a diverse, you know, environment. It actually takes some skill. And usually knowledge. And lots of that. Good old-fashioned knowledge, that is. Where else could I... I mean, you see, my main problem is that I only can go back, or I can go like this. So, no, that's not what I wanted. Then I can go like, we do this, and I'm like, huh? Okay, I need this, that is. This is a pain in the ass to do. I'd much rather go to the two brothers and be like, hey, let me write down shit. Do it old-fashioned and manual. Ash rock? Copper. Copper and silver. That's the two things we get. Problematic is we need iron. And iron is probably the in between. There will be a point in somewhere in the future where games like you have 99 lizard tails. I hope you're happy now. Your inventory is full. And I'm sitting there like shit. This is, by the way, how I found the road hides that I needed. In this particular area. Such a nice looking world. If the world weren't so generally fucked, it would be quite a preferable world. Still in some aspects, admittedly. Boy, let me go. Almost had me there. Actually, while the game is trying to load, let me look at something. Not willing to give me any information, but I live with it. Is he around? No, he is not around. Hey bitches, I'm back. You know, to do the usual. Don't mind me, I'm just going to murder all of you. Ah, so much blood everywhere. I mean, I think there would probably be better ways to hunt. Technically speaking, that is. Rolled. I'm sure there's gonna be use for that in the future. Really tempts me. He does tempt me, this little game. Which, mind you, is a very good thing. Can actually, for once, outright say yes, I do recommend this particular series. And well, if you're willing to go very, very much old school, you can go all the way back and play some Drakengard too. Drakengard is pretty nice. The first and the third one. Play the third one first. It's chronologically speaking the first one. Then play the first one. Drakengard 1. I mean, it will feel a bit like suffering, maybe. But just a little bit, you know, you get used to that suffering. Hey, look, 3 grains of color. Oh yeah, there's nothing worse than a sad tree. How would you even tell if a tree is sad? Relaxing, isn't it? I like the soundtrack very much. I must admit they made a good job. I'm rather pleased with this. People are always discussing if there's even any need to, you know, to remake, remaster, whatever, olden games. Technically speaking, as long as they work, one can argue that no, there is no necessarily a need to do it. Especially because, you know, when the details are changed, like music pieces, for example, that's, there's a bit of the risk of, you know, annoying people to no bloody end. It can also be nice, can't it? Maybe I'm just too forgiving when it comes to specific things. It could also be the case. I mean, generally speaking, if they had, you know, really murdered this game, I probably would have done some very horrible things to them, personally. Hey, guy.
あなたが水路を整備してる人？
何か厄介なことに巻き込まれそうだぞ。
Yes.
もうしろってば。
実は妻が家でもう1週間も音沙汰がなくて。
Oh, my sweet dumpling.
それは大変だね。
Sure, sure. We'll look for your wife.
奥さんの行方に。
いや、ただ妻はよ。
じゃあ僕は
そうか、助かる。妻も僕と同じ赤いカバンをつけ。
同じカバンを身につけるとは、君を
いわゆるペアルック。これは結婚記念に買ったそれなのに僕が。
落ち着いて、すぐに奥さんを見つけてくる。
Jesus.
あの男、妻が家出した理由に。
Yeah, I would assume so. Yeah, the dolphins are flying around. Look at it, isn't that a cute little one? Kind of reminds me, you know, what my kids sometimes do. I mean, at least the kitty is not that fat. You also have a bit of, you know, just a beat in the stomach area. A bit too much. Not all overly much though.
なあなあ、
聞いてくれよ。俺の彼女なこの間食事に誘ったらさ、
Mhm.
私を誘いたかったら高級な
Okay.
いや、やっぱり彼女は見る目が違うなって思った。
まあ好みは人それぞれだよね。
That's true. That's true. So.
やっぱり俺の彼女は一
Ah, is that so? Is that so? Alright, there's actually nobody up here anymore. It's a bit of a sorry sub-story when you think about it. Then again, we are talking about Yogotaro, of course. As we all know, Yogotaro only tells happy stories. I mean, the worlds he's created in the way they are showcased. So, you know, this case here, for example. The worlds themselves are pretty damn beautiful. I will admit that much. Just that the story that is happening is usually rather special, I would say. Yeah, let's say it like this. Also, you can read really deep, because there is, technically speaking, a lot of very deep-going lore aspects to it that you can potentially look into. It's interesting, but I will admit I'm probably not the kind of person who can explain that very well. So, use your own head, reach your own conclusions, stuff like that, you know?
Konnichiwa. Akai.
Nani? 彼女がどうかしたの?
Ah, you know, interesting. It's only true.
家出したみたいで行き先を聞い
あら、あの夫婦また近頃はここに顔を出していないから。そうね。釣り具屋に行ってみたらどう？そ、
わかりました。
あなた、よく見ると可愛い顔してるわね。
僕はまだお酒飲めない。
Okay, okay, good. Stay here a second, why don't you? Oh, wait. Drink with me. And honestly, who's here to enforce these rules? I mean, think about it.
こんにちは。赤いカバンの女の人を見てないかな。
Akai, the nice little Akai bag. Where's the Akai bag woman?
ああ、あの奥さんね。言われてそういえば、前に町の
外。
町の外に行ったとなると見つける骨が折れるな。
You tell me.
魔物に襲われたりしてないといいんだけど。
Pain in the ass is what it is. So let me take a look here. The game is also very nice. It's like, well, go out and take a look. I'm not gonna tell you anymore. What does my quest log say about it? Nothing, because it doesn't even count as a quest, apparently. I will admit, I've done quite a few quests. Search for the wife with the red bag, man, the Southern Plains. I mean, I am in the Southern Plains. There isn't really much else than the Southern Plains, or to the Southern Plains. Shady boy.
あの魔物、何やら様子がおかしいぞ。
Obtained the red
も
bag.
しかしてこれ
あの男が身につけていたカバンと瓜二つであるな。おそらく
そんな
周囲にそれらしい気配はない。
あの人に
辛いであろうが。
Oh, we indeed don't have much of a choice now, do we? That's bad. Another lost one. Also, don't mind me just murdering these little creatures. It's a bit revengeful. That one time they stood in my way. But who knows, you know? Maybe at some point I need like 99 deer meat. I wouldn't know what exactly for, I don't remember any quest going like that, but you know. Is that it one? Who knows? Who even knows? Well then, back we go. Kill the red bag man, oh yeah. Red bag woman, kinda dead. Killed. Yeah, that's a pretty damn accurate description of what has probably happened. Such a short little quest that even I'm like, ah, sure, I can do that. Little Shade was like, yeah, I'm here, I'm Shade, I'm a quest Shade. Kind of like, whoop whoop whoop. Eat some magic. Hello, Red Bagman.
妻が見つかったのかい？
We did.
いえ、それが魔物がこれを。
このカバンは間違いない。
やはりそうであったか。
そんな妻が魔物に。
Yeah, most likely. Why is this all his fault? Asked man.
家出の原因は何だったのだ。
それは
シロ。
ただいま。あら、
お前魔物に殺されたんじゃ。
何よそれ。そのカバン拾ってくれた。
本当に無事だった。
何一体どうなってるの？
Well, we kinda assumed you were dead. Like we did at one case previously. 5 minutes later.
なるほど。このカバンを守る。
無事で本当に良かったよ。全部僕がお前が大切に取っておいたリンゴを本当にごめんね。二度としないから。
家出？私はだって1週間くらい家を空けるってまさかあなたまた
おい、我の第六感が今すぐ
Yes, run. You know what? Let's listen to
そ
this.
れに私のリンゴを食べたってどういうこと？ほんとあなたって最低な男ね。
だったらお前だって結婚記念のカバンを落となあ、君も妻の方が悪い。
僕
Shit. Can I say nobody? Okay, let me close my eyes.
夫婦の思い出の品なら。
何それ？あんた男2人がかりで女を責めるなんて。
僕は
それにこの前だって僕が大切にしていた切手コレクションを買って。
何よ、あなたが部屋を掃除しないからねえ、そこのあなたも。
両者に非があろう。
ガラクタのくせに分かったような口を。
Picture of Ology.
急に息を合わ
They do. And 1 hour later.
あなたのそういうところがダメなのよ。
いや、お前よりマシだね。
僕は
もうどうにもならぬ。
ああもう、あなたはちゃんとした仕事に就かないし、私はご近所さんヒエラルキーの底辺でへこへこ。
あ、まだ言ってない。
本当におめでとう。なんで
ごめん。
何よもう。さあ今日はお祝いに。
Nice. Also, if you could start working again.
何が起きたのかさっぱりわからぬが、
まあ二人が仲な。
ここに来た理由が何であったか。
あ、そうだ。
妻を探してくれて。
そうだ、水路の
ああ、そうか。君は仲直りもできたし、また水路の整備を頑張るよ。
God bless you. God bless you.
今日はごちそうだ。水路の
夫の仕事が見つかったお祝いに。
Well, that's one way of saying it, I guess.
なんだかひどく疲れたな。
とりあえずポポルさんのところに戻ろう。
Yes, let us go home and actually make a save and be happy with what we've done so far. I think that is a reasonable point to end it.
あの赤いカバンの夫婦は大変な二人だったな。あれほど言い争っていたのだ。
Bam!
よく関係が続くものだ。
でも仲直りした時の二人はすごく幸せそうだったよ。お互いの気持ちを素直に言い合うことが一緒に暮らすための秘訣なのかも。
もしお前がああなったら我は出ていくがな。
I may leave groceries one day and never return. It might actually be a good tactic in this case. But she's really nice and says nice things. Yeah, kinda was very well known for saying all the nicest things. Absolutely not somebody who likes to curse. Like a beach. Absolutely not. You're still looking for mutton?
羊の肉。
ありがとう、助かったわ。
I mean, she does pay well for it, you know, it's just, it feels like such a waste. I mean, who knows, maybe I need that mutton, you know, and, I don't really need all that much money. In the end, I think I will use most of that money to buy stuff that could potentially be used to upgrade weapons, like natural rubber and stuff. That's how it's most likely going to end up being used. Well, yeah, quite the problem indeed.
水路の完成楽しみにしてます。また何か困ったことがあったら何でも言ってよね。
お疲れ様。あ、ちょっと待って。
はい。
そうそう、ヨナちゃんが呼んでたわよ。
ヨナが？
なんだかお願いがあるみたいよ。お兄ちゃんは大変ね。
わかりました。ありがとう。
Anything else you wanna say?
内容は聞いてないけど。
Well, if Yona looks pretty concerned, then we are gonna get pretty concerned. In the wardrobe. And as people do now, I do tend to take my work rather seriously. Indeed,
ポ
I'm
ポールさん
back.
から聞いたよ。お兄ちゃんにお願いって。
大事なお願いなの。
なんだ？お兄ちゃん。
じゃあ言うね。
うん。
お友達を助けてほしいの。
お友達？
そう、ユナ。
手紙で話？
文通ではないのか。
Yeah, that is indeed a nightfall. Also pretty good.
文通して男の子？
その子はお兄ちゃんとシロちゃんで
シロちゃん。
その男の子っての。
南の方にある。
Yes, I know. The moment I was like, this can't be. No, this is actually exactly what I'm thinking it is.
お兄ちゃんにしかお願いできないの。
いや、でもそれはダメとかじゃなくて。
Yeah, let's do something nice for her.
わかったよ。何か方法を探してみる。
お兄ちゃん、ありがとう。
Well, sure. We'll take care of it. But we'll have to wait till the next time. Nope.
どうしたお兄ちゃん。
バカ、そんなことないよ。
Don't worry, you can beat him up later. You won't though. Don't worry. Nope. That shall be it for today then. That was fun. I do like this game quite a bit, admittedly. But yes, it is rather a nice thing in our future. Let me bid you adieu. A good one and all that, and I shall be back tomorrow. With, well, I don't even know. Probably, well, either Total War or actually maybe a bit of Baldur's Gate. Kinda do feel an itching for that. We shall see, we shall see. Until